We went around the country to validate those regulations. Unfortunately, my brothers, the governors and sisters, Excellency governors were not available in these forums. The Council of Governors only sent some junior officers. So by the time we were reporting to the summit recently, they all said maybe they didn't get enough on this. But the regulations are ready. They have been validated. Now, when you come, you will just marry yourself into what is already in place. Way forward, I'm just finishing. We are looking at investment promotion and facilitation initiatives targeting Kenyans abroad. Establishment of intermediary facility to provide investment and management services to Kenyans abroad. Develop specific investment product and incentive that specifically targets you, our brothers and sisters, and public-private partnership engagements. The current laws are not very favorable in public-private partnership. Something is being done to review them. Lowering cost of diaspora transactions and aggregate diaspora remittance for optimal investment. Kenyans living abroad will also be enjoying preferential duty waivers and other concessions for diaspora business, extension and formal banking opportunities, and cheaper cost of financial transfers and issuance of diaspora bonds, among other initiatives. On the issue of cultural barriers, please listen carefully. The mistake where most of you who have been outside the country have been making is comparing what you see in USA to Kenya. Let me just give you an example. Kenya is the only country in the world so far that passes a constitution this year, hold election next year, and fully devolve the same year. Governors will bear with me that we went to a meeting of regional governments forum in the world in Cartagena, Argentina. What did we come across? One country for 84 years could only manage to decentralize one function. In Kenya, we pass the law today, devolve tomorrow everything. This is next to a miracle. US has been there for over 200 years. So when you start comparing us, really, that is a barrier you are creating for yourself. Help us improve. And sometimes, attitude. Now, when we are talking of cultural barrier, attitude matters. I'll just use a very strange example. Please forgive me if it touches on anybody. When I arrived here and I was talking to somebody, somebody told me, you have a very interesting accent. Where do you come from? Of course, I said, I come from Kenya. If I want, I can change to American accent. And anyway, I'm not an American. So, you see, some of you, when you go back home with your heavy American accent, and the way you approach issues really matters. One of you went to look for a job in the government of the Republic of Kenya. As he was being interviewed, if you know Kenya well, presidency is a symbol of national unity. Now he kept on referring to the president, Mr. Kinyara, Mr. Kinyara, and by the time the interview was finished, people sitting in one room were saying, wachana na huyu amekaa huko nje, ameongea na mapua na anaanza kuita rais yetu Mr. Kenyara, and he lost that job anyway, he didn't get it. So sometimes your own attitude turns out to be a barrier to you achieving your goals there back home. Please bring us all the good things. The ladies here, I am very impressed with the nurses and the ladies who said they are ready to invest back home. These nurses, I did a nursing diplomacy among the first in Namibia. I took them nurses and I took Namibian patients to Kenya when I was an ambassador to do heart operation. Yes, South Africa, the first open heart surgery was just next door. Somehow I convinced them. Do you know what the press of those Wazungus, the Boers, said? How can you leave a grown-up and consult a 10-year-old? It's like consulting a 10-year-old. We made sure those patients...
And a very good job of trying to, educate us a little bit about what are some of the cultural barriers. I now want to turn to His Excellency Stephen Sang, our youngest governor. So he must be swag and understand the language of the youth. And we want to ask him,